Hello, friends. This is Nick. Um, Please note that I'm not a professional at this type of instructional video, so bear with me. I just really wanted to help everyone that felt like they needed the help and wanted to show you some tips and like a, you know, quick tutorial on like how to best maximize the game. I really appreciate everyone on the team and hopefully this helps. So we just had resets. So this is what this is my personal recommendation based on my experience. So I hope you find it helpful. Take it or leave it as you want, but hopefully you get to learn something along the way. So the first thing I do when I first start the game after reset is I do all my chores first. I'll do my bonus, and then I'll check shop just to get rid of the little red dots because I hate those. And I'll collect all the things that I want to collect in mail. And then I kind of just start from like left to right. And today's my banquet day, so I started my banquet. And I'll check that. And then I'll go attend banquets that I haven't yet. And generally, I always make sure I have enough gold for banquets because that's why we get to collect our admiration gold. And basically, every day, if you go and admire and do your chores, you should be able to get enough gold to do your 3 banquets a day. So, and then I'll go to academy, make sure I'm sitting in an academy. Looks like I'm not, so I'll check, see which one has the most time on it that I won't get kicked out of. So, sorry, Azathoth. Alrighty. And then I'll move over to challenges. And based on this account, I don't have that much troops, so I'll do kind of a minimum to like maybe 40 today, which is about over 200 million. And you get 200 merits, which is really why I do this. It's just to collect as many merits as I can. The rest of the rewards are extra, I guess, for me. Not everyone has the one tap. I think I have the one tap because of the VIP. I spent a little money on this. If you haven't joined a nation, click on nation. And, right now I'm in Bangkok. So far, this nation has not kicked me for anything. There's very minimal edicts that I have to do. I tried to do the bare minimum of edicts, but the great part is when you join a nation, you get, for example, here, 55 gold for salary, and you get some boosts on your retainers. There are other nations. Rock and Foe used to be good, but they keep kicking, quote unquote, by accident, so I got tired of them. You don't want to join Hydra. They literally kick all the time, and it's a waste. PK Dynasty has been pretty good. They only have, I think it's like 100 million for crops, coins, and troops. I think they're the ones that are that. Or is it 100 gold? It's one of those. But it's worth it because it's very rare that they have it for the 100 gold. And they don't kick off as often. And it looks like they have space, so you should definitely join while you can. I did not join Dami because they don't get any boost for retainers. That's why I joined Bangkok. La Familia, maybe they're the ones that are 100 gold. I apologize, I don't really remember. So, I haven't kept track, but I'm sure Adam or somebody else will know. Then I'll go check cabinets if I haven't collected, and I'll collect there, and then I go to Palace. In Palace, I'll find somebody on our team, and then go admire them. And in this case, because my account won the Prince title, I get a 200 gold extra. And for the nation buff, I get 55, so that's 255 gold already, right? And then I'll move over, and I'll go all the way to the Sutra Pavilion to invite my allies. So I make sure I get that done first so that whoever logs in and goes to the alliance, they will see this little thing right here on the kind of middle right that says one tap mentor. And then we'll click on that and we'll help folks study. Again, I'm going to click on the purchase so I get rid of that red dot. And then I do my build. And I think everyone needs to really remember that doing the build is very, very important. I see a lot of folks logged in for hours or half the day and don't do their builds. And really, the first thing you should do is do your build, because that really helps the team. And it looks like most of you have the monthly or annual pass anyway, so your build should be free. And for those who don't have the monthly or annual pass, try to do the advanced build as much as you can. And if you're low on gold, do a normal build, maybe maximum twice a week per our alliance rules. It's only 50 gold. It's really not much. Like I said, you do all your admiration and your chores, you should be able to have more than enough. Then here we have warfare. So it looks like we lost. So we'll collect our minimal contribution. And then it looks like we're against Notorious for our opponent this time. And so what I'll do is I will leave this and go to ranking, go to world, and then click on alliance, and I'll find who we are against, Notorious. And we'll find them and see what their power is. And it's 23. So we were against them, I think, 2 games ago, and I told everyone to use their weakest retainer because there's no way I thought that we would win, and somehow we did. So I would say this time I'll tell everyone to once again use their weakest, because we won the last time. That means they're probably going to use their strongest one. And so I'll say like second best. That's left over. The second best retainer we have left now is, for me, Hannibal. And you can see I saved my best because we still have a few more warfare games left. So I'm going to save it to next time when we have an opponent that's going to be somebody we can actually try to fight for. And what I'll do as leader too is, like, before the next game, this fight begins, I'll check to see how much total ATK we have. And if it's like pretty close to possibly winning, I'll just change one of or a few of my different retainers, different accounts, to try to hit that. Okay? So after you do your build and your warfare, go to construction. And what I've suggested previously is that we go to each construction and based on the required attributes. As you can see, this one, Wei-Yan Fort is strength. This one is charm. And so a hanging temple, for example, we're almost done with. So in this case, when you click on each construction, you'll see the main attribute is intelligence. So your first few retainers are the strongest ones you have in intelligence. And hopefully by now you are familiar with which retainer is which strength. So this guy here, my first one, is one of the generals, and the generals all focus on intelligence. So this account, I haven't built that many retainers or heroes and generals and all that yet, so I only have one, but I'll use it. And then I'm going to save the rest because they're all below the rest of my intelligence retainers, because they're all below 1 million intelligence anyway, and which means I'm going to only get 1 merit for it, right? So no point using them. And in this case, Toku is 4.16, but I also know he's actually stronger in something else, so I'm going to refrain from using him. And I'm going to save him for another thing. So that one was intelligence, so let's go to charm. And normally I would say, like, go divide up your retainers and go to each specific strength. But since last time we tried that and we couldn't finish them, so right now I'm suggesting to the team, let's all use all of our remaining retainers for the rest of the month and focus on the Great Wall. Because everyone should be building up their strength, so most of your retainers have strength. So it's better to use all of our retainers now to focus on a strength building because we have a higher chance of finishing it, right? So auto build, just use all of them on Great Wall. So just bear with me. It's kind of a long process, but it's kind of good because then you get to see, how everything goes. And I'm using my lowest rank account so that hopefully it's more players can relate, because those stronger players that we have on the team probably don't need this tutorial. Alright, so we're done with that, so we'll leave. And so right now I'm pretty much done with our alliance building, and I'm gonna go do all my ranks and admire, so collect all my gold. I got lucky, and I got an extra 100. So far I've collected 255 plus 100 and 10, and I'm gonna get another 10 here and another 110. Woohoo! Lucky me. And then world will have merits. Thanks, Charsu. And then we've got, come on. Usually I tap really quickly through all of this. Okay, but I didn't want to go too fast for you guys so I don't cause anyone to get nauseous. Okay. Oops. Alright, so we're done with ranking, and then I'll go to Tribunal. And I know I'm not going to win any of these because my little weak Leo. So I just finish that. And then I'll go to trading. Just kind of tap through. I only have 3.99 billion coins, so I'm going to just probably use like 30 levels. And I only get 20 gold out of it. So sometimes you get lucky. You use less coins and get more gold. Sometimes you get very little gold. And then I'll go to prison. Now for prison, I hope everybody knows that right now there's 10 convicts, right? And most of us don't have enough each day to finish all 10 convicts or punish all 10 convicts. So I suggest that everybody just kind of like alternate. Right now, like my current fame is at 6675 out of 7,000. So today I'll get to do all 10 convicts. But if it was half of that, I'll just do like the first 2 convicts, or maximum the first 3 convicts, and then save the rest for tomorrow. And then I'll do all 10, right? Makes sense? And anytime you watch this, if you have questions, just kind of jot them down, and then feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'm happy to help. If you hear my fingers tapping, I apologize. I have a really bad habit of tapping a lot because I'm so always trying to finish so I can move on to the next thing. Come on. Alright. So I got some more gold here. I think one of the other comics also has more gold. So now, we can see how much gold I've got back. A few hundred at least. Trading I did. Okay, so I did everything on this side. And then I'm going to go back to my manor and check out all the red dots. So I'll go to, just to get rid of the red dots, I'll go to everything. So cross powers next. Hopefully, since we hit our Alliance Power event and hit our threshold so quickly, most of you saved up your power items for the cross event. So now is a good time to use up all your stuff, which we'll go through later. But now I'm just going to start collecting all my little rewards. So in this case, I've only used up 110 million coin. And now if I'm close to the next grade to collect more of these elixirs, I can always go back to, trading and just spend a little bit more coins, and I'll be able to collect more, right? So after 200 is 500, so I want to decide, like, do I want to spend that much? Because maybe I want to save up on coin for the next event. So many red dots today. Okay, so we've got Retainer Arena. And if you don't know what Retainer Arena is, basically you're going to enter when it starts tomorrow, and you're going to pick the retainer that you have that's the strongest with the most aptitude, right? And, even if yours is very weak, go with the one that you think is going to win, because then you'll collect the team reward. Evil Queen. Limited bonus. We've got nothing to collect here. Family. Well, I've got 2 special events. Oh, fuck. I hate Lucky Draw. Such a waste of money. But happiness is great, so I'll go and I'll buy some stuff. And usually, if I feel like, let's see, I've got a good amount here, so I'll probably spend the gold just so that I push myself to a better spot. And then I'll collect my limited reward. I spent how much gold here? Okay. All right. So now all these guys I'll do. Let's say I want to send my player and try to boost my kids. Now, this is a really good reason why you want to get some good in-laws with some power, because then you can send your kids to them to study and boost them. So as you can see, my kids are not too bad, not too shabby, even though I'm very low. Like, you can check my confidants. Like, they're not that powerful. They don't have that much intimacy, but I send them out to study a lot. So that helps a lot. Here are my kids that are ready to study. Here are my kids that have been rejected. Okay, so these are the kids that are ready to marry. As you can tell, I did not push them to study that much because I just wanted to get rid of them. And, so I'm going to just go through these. I like to keep a clean screen, so that's why I make sure I kind of just do these, but manually. For affairs, if anyone has questions, I usually like to save up a bunch of these token of affairs and then use them when I'm really low on stuff. So in this case, I'm kind of low on coins. I'm kind of low on a lot of things, but I'm going to use them up at the next event when I need to have more items. So here's from the Bong Nation. I don't do these 1 billion ones for this account because I just don't have enough stuff. So this is wealth. Now for capital, a quick lesson on capital. And again, feel free to reach out if you have specific questions. When you go to capital, or envoy in this case, so envoy here, and you click on it, capital is wherever you sit in this main capital, your building. Right now I'm sitting in number 1 because I have a prince title. And this is where, so these are the royal mansions on top, right? These are basically for kings. When you move down here to the number 1 buildings, these are where all the princes are basically, or really high level, high ranking dukes, right? But mostly princes and kings. And then if you move down further to number 2 buildings, which is down here, let me go back. So number 1 buildings get you 2,400 points maximum. So if you see on the top left-hand corner, it says PTS. I've got 660 points accrued right now since this afternoon when I went to sit in some more tape houses. But I can only collect up to 2,400. And my recovery is 50 points per hour. Okay, oops. And so I always try to get as high of a house as I can so I can collect the most points so that I can sit in the most rooms at the reset of Envoy of Capital, right? Because then I can collect more experience or merits or wealth. And how you decide that is like if you look on the screen right here, on the left you see Bookhouse. Bookhouse is where you collect your experience, your EXPs. Wealth on the right, I'm sorry I don't have a cursor because I'm on my phone, but Wealth House is where you collect Alliance Wealth. And that's where we need everyone on the team to at least sit in one or two wealth houses, depending on how many maximum points you can collect per day or how many points you can collect per hour. And then official house at the bottom, between the info and the plus button, official house is where you sit to collect merits. Okay, so right now I'm not going to sit in any rooms really because these rooms are pretty much like running out of points, and it's going to reset at 8 a.m. Pacific time anyways. Um, so yeah, but sometimes like for example like if this was somebody that was really weak, I could probably snatch it, but nah, I try not to be an asshole. Wealth rooms are generally empty a lot of times. Not by this hour, but like during the morning, it's like the last thing people go to. And what I do is like I'll try to sit in some experience rooms for my weak retainers, some merit rooms with my stronger retainers so I can collect some merits. And then after a few hours I'll have some more points, and then I'll go to wealth rooms towards mid-afternoon, and I'll sit in like a number 2 or a number 3 wealth room. And generally I don't think that many people snatch wealth rooms because there's just a lot of them available. But if you're a lower rank and you have you don't have a title, I would say then go sit in like a 3 or a 4 wealth room, right? So if you have your maximum is 2,400 points, go or higher, then go to a number 2 or 3 wealth room. Merit, I would say a 3 and 4 room, and then for book, probably about the same. If you're sitting in a number 2 building, your maximum points is going to be 1,440 points maximum. And I think it's a recovery of 40 points per hour. So if you're sitting in one of these number 2 rooms, then you're going to want to sit in lower rooms in the other other places, like your experience, wealth, and official house merit rooms, unless you have really strong retainers. So it's really about like how much aptitude and how you've built your retainers. And I'm sorry if I'm going kind of quickly on this, but if you have specific questions, ask me. Capital is a little confusing, but I think once you understand the basic of it, it's actually really fun and worthy to utilize, because you can really pump up your account very quickly if you know how to sit in the right rooms. You sit in the book rooms, you can collect a lot of experience for your retainers, and you can build a weak retainer to a super strong retainer very quickly. And you want to build as much book experience as you can so that you can use it during the aptitude or the EXP events, and then you'll be able to really boost your retainer. And then during the power events, you're going to want to feed them the fruits and elixirs and powders, right? Beads. And then during coin event, you're going to level them up, right? So you have them at a high aptitude. You want to try to keep them at like a level 1. And then when you are doing power event, feed them all of the fruits and elixirs and beads. And then when it's coin event, you can level them up from like 1 to 200, and you'll see how much power you're going to gain. So last time for Casey, I think I got like a 20 million boost or something like that. I forgot if it was Casey or Sir Nick, but I got a 20 million boost because I think I built my retainer up to like over 700 aptitude, and then fed them a bunch of all the fruits and elixirs and beads, and then leveled them up to from 1 to 200. So if you have the patience and you have, the discipline to like hoard your items and then save it for specific events, then you can really create a bigger boost. But some people don't have that patience, and then you're not going to see the growth, because how beads and fruits and all that stuff work and aptitude is it multiplies, right? And we'll go into this later because I'm starting to get off track now. Bachelor Hall, I'm not a huge fan of, but I'll just do it. The first time we had Bachelor Hall, I did buy the King Pass, but I didn't really feel like it did much. It did give me like a skin or something. I forget if it was a skin or some sort of boost. And I wasn't sure it was really worth it. So I haven't used it since. So yeah, so now, we'll go to Quest, because we've done all our chores, and then we'll just claim all of our quests. Some people like to save all of these redemption chests till the end of the day. I am not that disciplined. I like to collect them right away because I don't think that I'm going to have a huge difference in the amount anyways. So now we are going to check our items. I've saved some of my random EXP stuff, saved up on my troop boosts, and the reason I did that is because right now my charm is not that strong, so I'm trying to wait till I boost up my retainer, my charm retainers before I do these, because these equal, all of these, as you can see, is based on the current troop recruitment. And so right now my recruitment's very low, so I'm going to save these until I can give my charm retainers a boost. I like to, so we just collected a bunch of merits because we won the Alliance event. And also Evil Queen, we were second, so that's great. Good job, team. And so I like to use up my merits as I go. Some people, I think for like Fortitude, saves them up and then like uses them all up at once. I don't do that because I don't have the patience to do the math. And I rather keep my merits as high as possible, so that I can stay, for example, in more capital seats, capital houses or academy houses, because that's all based on like who has more merits. So hopefully that helps you in understanding that. So scrolls, this one I can combine. I'm going to combine that. I'm kind of OCD this way, so I like to use up stuff. I'm going to collect all my baby making items so I can make some babies or get some marriages. Since it's a power event, I'm going to try to marry my kids off. You get gold in return when you do marriages during the power events. And you get a boost in power when you get more kids, more in-laws and stuff. So, okay, yeah. So as you see, these are my fruits, beads, elixirs, and I'm going to use these on my strongest retainers pertaining to that attribute. So for example, this one is a random attribute, so I'll use this on my Toku, because Toku is my strongest retainer that is a multitude of different attributes, right? And then this is charm, or sorry, not charm, I keep saying charm, charisma. Charisma is all of my brothers, right? All of my brothers, so I'll use it on my strongest brother. And then I don't have any strength fruits, but I do have strength elixirs. And I'll use that on my heroine, and I'll use it on the heroine that I have with the strongest aptitude in strength, okay? So hopefully you're building all of your retainers based on their strength. So brothers is charisma, Heroines is strength. Traders are politics, and then generals are intelligence. And I'll save all of the default retainers and either exile them if I have gold, enough gold, or money, and or I'm just gonna kind of let them collect um, their aptitude based on like maybe sitting in, book houses in capital, because I don't want to spend any of my scrolls on them because I want to save them for the strongest retainers that I want to build, right? And the reason you want to not spend, but save your scrolls on and your books like these here, the book EXP packs. You want to save these and your scrolls for those special retainers, such as traders, heroines, brothers, and generals, because when you build them up first, you are boosting each of the brothers, each of the generals, each of the traders, and each of their heroines, right? And the other basic default retainers, you can't really do that unless you get their skins, right? So I rather focus on those special retainers first because I know that I'm going to get the most bang for my buck, right? Basically, you're really going to maximize the way that you boost them by focusing on them first. So my strategy was I'll focus on one trader, one heroine, one brother, and one general at a time. And I'll build them up to over 1,000 aptitude, and continue to feed them all of these fruits, elixirs, and beads during all the power events. And I'm going to keep them at level 1 until I feel like they've hit a good threshold for aptitude, And if I really am lacking a boost and I really just want to be able to get them up, or if you've maximized the amount of scrolls you can give them, then I'll level them up to 200. And then I'll level them up to 200 or even 150, and then it'll give you an upgrade, and then you'll be able to do more scrolls for them and build them up to a higher aptitude. And once I hit 1,000, I'll go up to 300 level and spend a lot more coin, and you can, try to get a better ranking in the coin event as well. But if you are already a duke, for example, then it's not going to matter that much unless, you win the prince title, the first place. And I think for coin, these side events, I think they only go to duke, right? I don't remember. Sorry, COVID brain. So, anyways, I hope that helps a little bit with how to use these items. Um, don't I don't suggest using these items when it's not a power event, because then you're just kind of depriving yourself from ranking when it is a power event. So in yesterday's case, it was an alliance power event, and we have a threshold of hitting 40 million. So if we already hit that 40 million, then you might as well just save it till we get to cross like today, so that you can get at least the best ranking that you can. For the alliance events, I mean, those of us who have more power, it's easier for us to achieve the threshold anyways. So I'm happy for us to work together and help the, lower ranked players be able to hit a better ranking in the cross event so that you can get better prizes. Okay? And in the long run for cross, it's better for us to save more power to hit a better ranking anyway as an alliance. So again, we get better rewards as well. All right, so moving along, let's go and check out our intimacy. Maybe I'll do a different video when it's an intimacy event, just so that you're not overwhelmed with too much information. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So, Evil Queen, this account I think has almost 5 billion ATK, so I will maybe boost, maybe not. Yeah, so probably not. Just save it. See if anything to redeem. Oh, I do have something. Okay. Alright, let's see, is there anything else? Oh yeah, you can also, if you have an assistant, which is, I think if you have the annual or the monthly pass, you get this little button on the lower left. That's your assistant. And then I try to, only click on it like once a day because, I like to see this merit number as high as I can. And you can use this to manage, how do I want my affairs? Right now I'm focusing on merits, but sometimes I'll move it to resources and merits because I really am low on items. Or if it's like a crop event or a coin event, I'll move it to resources so you can collect more of those. But I'm going to go back to merits for now. You can also do items, but I feel like nobody ever does that because it's really not important. Because we get enough of those during the bigger rewards and events anyways. Random summoning, I do have that set to one tap, automatic. Retainer, so retainer learning, I will select the 5, because I only have 5 seats right now. I will select the 5 that I'm trying to build, and so in the institute is where they study around the clock. If you have the set to, it's around the clock. If you don't have the pass, so you don't have an assistant, then you have to go manually do it. And honestly, like, to me, getting the annual pass or the monthly pass is like a game changer because you don't have to keep going in to check every hour or 3 hours or whatever time frame. So it's worth it, and I think that it's really helped my account, my retainers, build stronger faster. So right now I'm trying to like build some of my weaker retainers. As you can see, my traders are super weak. And then my brother and my Mulan, I'm still trying to build them. I'm wondering if I should switch out my general. But what I'll do is usually like put the weaker ones in studying, and then the ones that I'm trying to build up top, I use the scrolls for, right? So that's how I differentiate. And then offspring training, it's auto. And then for visiting, I have auto relief on crops. I guess to me it's worth it because I want to collect the best possible outcome when I visit. But some people might have this threshold down a little bit more, which I could, I guess, because I'm still a little tiny puny player here. And that'll help me collect more crop and coin and troops so I could use it for the next event. Let's see, anything else I want to go over? Cabinets. Yeah, so cabinets, the best way to do cabinets is really dependent on your retainers. So for this account, for Casey, I really don't try to win like first place or even second place because I know it's not going to happen really because this account is very weak. But if there's like, one of these if one of these only have like 1 or 2 people in it, then I'm going to go sit and try. And depending on who's sitting, you have to pay attention and kind of see like, oh, if it's like a, S6 player that's ranked in there, then you could probably have a good chance of winning, right? So if it's a lower rank than you, then good chance. But if you see like, somebody like a P2 or, a P or an S1, then, you're not going to win, probably. So put a lower one, put one of your weaker retainers in there because you can still win the minimum prize. So for example, in advanced, so this one's charisma and the advanced event, right? When you do go to this event, of course, Hellspawn's going to win every time. But even at the worst position, even at the last position, like in this case for Nick, I put my weakest retainer in there, and I still got 800 merits out of it, right? Whereas if you go to a primary, even first place primary is only 1,000 merits. So it's always worth going into advanced, because even when you lose, you get merits and it's worth it. But you don't want to put one in if there's more than 20 people in there, because after 20 you don't win any merits. So if you see 20 people in a room already in cabinet, don't even bother unless you have a strong retainer. Okay. Vantage event, as you can see, when a first place is only 2,000 merits. So I only do Vantage cabinet rooms when, one, there's not a lot of players sitting in there, or if I know that like I have a really good chance of winning, you know. So I would say, Vantage, depending on what day of the week, beginning of the week, you need even a stronger retainer. By the end of the week, you probably can get away with like under 20 million in attribute for that attribute. Okay. And then primary, as you know, it's 1,000 if you get first place, and it's 300 at sixth place. I forget what it is for like 10th place, but I just don't even bother. If I do a primary, it's because I just want to go for first. All right. What else? So institute, this is where you study, but since I have the assistant, I don't even do this anymore. What else? Boom, 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 boom. I feel that's good. Like I said, I'll do another video when it's an intimacy event or some other event, so that I can help you guys. Campaign is where we do our fighting, and right now, as you can see, like my troop consumption will be 2.6 billion. That's half of what I have for troops right now. So I'm gonna save and just kind of wait on this for the next troop consumption side event. And then from here you can see my merit bar. I'm getting close to ranking up to S2, which will be great. But so what this means is like I'll probably want to start really focusing on collecting more merits. And so I'll probably go to Capital Envoy and try to focus more on my merit house and sit in more merit rooms so that I can try to reach that threshold and level up or rank up. All right. Thank you for watching. I know it's a long video. I hope it was helpful. And please feel free to hit me up anytime. And remember to do your zombies every day, your Mongolian invasion in the morning, and your Galdan in the evening or late afternoon. Please make sure you do your dungeon, your construction, and your warfares. That helps the Alliance so much. I really appreciate all of you. And one last thing is when you redeem, I highly suggest focusing on redeeming these little seals for the cabinet. And then if you have extra, I would say go for your merits, because merit is key in this game. And then book packs so that you can help level up, or not aptitude up your retainers. Sorry, it's very late right now. I'm very tired. And then if you do still have leftovers, then you can go for the rest of this stuff. Okay? Alrighty. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys on chat. Thanks.